It is time for our shot of vitamin T with Teresa Tomeo. Good morning, Teresa, and we understand, and we've already talked about it, you're here to make a gigantic announcement here on Morning Offering, and we're the first place you're making that announcement. So good morning to you.
Yes, you guys, good morning. Buongiorno. We are back in the, how do I say it, frozen tundra of Michigan. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Welcome home.
It was. Thank you. It was 60, Pat, when we left Rome yesterday. And got home, and it was like 8 degrees at Detroit Metro Airport. Anyway, great news this morning. Great to be back with you in southeastern Michigan and, of course, Ohio, to all our wonderful listeners. So this is a really big deal, you guys. So we just confirmed 30 tickets to see the special visible veneration of the relics of St. Francis in the month of March in Italy. So I'm announcing it here this morning. We're putting out a phone number, and this is for corporate travel, 866-468-1420. I'll give it again in a second. But this is a really big deal because what they're doing is they're removing the relics from the tomb in the lower crypt, and they're going to be available at the altar. And so people are lining up like crazy for this. There's only a month from February through the end of March that they're doing this. And so we have reserved just 30 tickets, and we're leaving on March 9th. We're still working out the details. I'll have a flyer probably by tomorrow. I just got off the phone with corporate travel. But I wanted to announce it to your listeners because it's very limited, and we're leaving on March 9th. We're going to Assisi, of course. We'll do a tour of Assisi. We're going to Spoleto, which is a beautiful town southeast of Assisi, where he had his initial reversion or conversion to the Catholic faith again. We're also going to Laverna in Tuscany, which is gorgeous, where he received the stigmata. We'll stop in Orvieto for the Eucharistic miracle, and then we have some other surprises that we're planning along the way. But only 30 people, 30 tickets, and we need to know if you're interested, and we'll get you all the information and get you signed up. But this is an interest list that we're looking for right now, 866-468-1420. If you're in the car and you can't jot that down, you can just email me through my website at teresatomeo.com. But this is super exciting because the tickets are very limited. There's this very small period of time, window of time, that you can see these relics. And next year, of course, is the year of St. Francis. So it's a big year in Italy. And my friends who are in the tour guide business, the partners that we have with corporate travel overseas in the Rome area, say that they expect, at least on their side of the pond, next year to be as big as a Jubilee year. So it's a really great time to go in March. The weather's comfortable, not too warm, but not too cold. And I'm really excited about this trip because it's all in the heart of Umbria, with the exception of going over to Tuscany briefly for Laverna, which is out of this world. So pretty exciting stuff, and you guys are the first to hear about it.
Wow.
Ooh, thank you so much. That's exciting. So, Teresa, you said that if people call now, you're putting together an interest list. Can you kind of explain so they're not making a full commitment at this point?
Right. If they're interested, we want to know if there is an interest out there. Before we have the tickets. The tickets are available. We've made confirmation for the tickets. It's free. But you have to sign up. You can't just show up at the Basilica. You have to come in a certain period of time, and there's a friar that will take you down to see the relics. So that's why we need to know if we're going to keep these tickets or are we going to release them. Deacon Dom and I are still planning on going back anyway because it's such an important event, and I'm writing that book about St. Francis. But I would love to take a group, and so we've reserved 30 tickets. And if you just call and we get your name, there's no commitment. It's just if you're interested, let us know, and then we'll send you the details, and then you can finalize it. But people will need to move quickly because once they get the information, we'll have a limited time period as to when we can book the hotels. Because, Pat, it's crazy now in Italy. You have to get the hotels sometimes almost 6 months to a year in advance and book the hotels before you even – it's pretty tight. But we have such good connections on the ground in Italy that we're pretty sure we're going to be able to secure it. Well, we secured the tickets. We're working on getting the hotel. And it's going to be fun. We're going to stay outside of Assisi at a resort or someplace a little different so people have some freedom to move around and see some different things. I'm really excited about it because we're going to these places that I'm writing about that people never go to.
Oh, yeah.
Laverna in Tuscany, where he received the stigmata. Spoleto, where he had his conversion. And, in Spoleto at the cathedral there, Our Lady of the Assumption, St. Mary of the Assumption, there is one of only 2 surviving handwritten letters from St. Francis. You'll be able to see that as well in that reliquary in the church. So pretty exciting stuff.
Give us that phone number one more time.
Sure. It's 866-468-1420. One more time, 866-468-1420. And you can let them know you're calling about the St. Francis Relics trip in March with Teresa Tomeo and Deacon Dom. And again, if you're driving and you're interested, just shoot me an email through my website and we'll make sure corporate travel gets your name. There's no commitment when you call. It's just if you're interested and you want to learn more and possibly grab one of those tickets, one of those 30 tickets for our trip in March, just give them a call and they'll put you on the list.
Yeah, and we're talking about 30 tickets. We're not talking about 30 couples. We're talking about like 15 couples
30 tickets.
taking advantage. This
like
is going to be
couples,
like 10 minutes, quite frankly. If I were you, I'd make myself available to make that telephone call, 866-468-1420. But, Teresa, I want to talk a little bit about these relics that are in the lower crypt that are going to be coming up for people to visit. This is not like this doesn't happen every year. It hasn't happened for quite some time. And
this hasn't happened at all. This is the first time since they never. It's never happened, and it was approved by the Pope because this is the 26th will be the 800th anniversary of St. Francis's passing, which will be he died on October 3rd. His feast day is October 4th. Wow. But we will be going to the place where he passed away, the Ponchucula in St. Mary of the Angels, and that's in Lower Assisi, and that will be really neat to see as well. So we're going to hit all the places in Assisi that are associated with his life, of course. But these other towns are very, very significant. But because they're off the beaten path and they take a little while to get to for a tour bus, a lot of groups don't go there. That's why this is going to be a super unique tour. Just like, for example, Laverna. Laverna is so high up on the mountain, Dave. When Deacon Dom and I went 2 years ago, we were riding up the mountain and we're like, okay, St. Francis, I understand you like to be in remote places, but this is also ridiculous.
And he walked it.
We kept going around, and he walked it. Yeah. Exactly. We kept going around and around and around. Wow. And we were in a comfortable car. Yeah. But it's gorgeous. It's on the top of a mountain in Tuscany, about 90 minutes from Florence. Very, very pretty area. We're probably doing wine tasting or a pasta making class. We're still kind of filling in those details. But what's nice about this is it's 5 nights. So if you don't have a lot of time in the spring, or if you wanted to do, let's say, get a nice tour of Umbria and all these special places, because we are going to go to Orvieto, which is also awesome for the Eucharistic miracle, then you could do a pre-trip maybe to Rome or a post-trip to Rome or somewhere else, and corporate travel will be happy to plan that for you. But I am so excited about this because this has never happened before, Dave, as you were asking. Right. They're taking his relics out of the tomb, of the lower crypt, and making them available for visible veneration. So we don't know. I mean, he could be. I don't believe he's incorrupt because they haven't seen the relics in hundreds of years. But, for example, there's a few states that even though they were from, for example, like St. Francis in the 13th century when he died, they still have the bones or somewhat of the body is left. But imagine being able to visibly see his relics, because right now they're in a very, very beautiful crypt in the lower part of the church, San Francesco's, and he's surrounded by 4 of his companions, 4 of the brothers with whom he was very close. So this is going to be really, really, really special, really special.
Yeah, and think about it. There was a big celebration around the 500th anniversary of his death, and they didn't bring these out for that. I mean, this is just amazing. So I hope people take advantage of it.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Teresa, are there other things that will be happening around Assisi and things like that through this year of St. Francis that you're aware of?
Yes, Pat. There are tons of activities, and there's a website. If people just want to Google Francis Lives, San Francesco Vive, St. Francis Lives, and I'll have more information. I'll be talking about it on my show as well. They have a whole list of different activities that are going on. And right now, as a matter of fact, we were in Assisi over the weekend because I shot a video to promote this when we went to Mass there as well. They have signs all over and beautiful images of what's coming up next year, different concerts, different celebrations, especially as they get closer to the anniversary of his death in October.
Wow, that's amazing.
Make the phone call, 866-468-1420. Teresa, you promised a big announcement. I have to tell you, it's as big as it gets, except I was hoping you'd say, Dave, Ron, and Pat, you guys are coming with us. Hey, we got your tickets. You ready to know? But that part was, but the rest of it just fantastic.
That would be really fun, you guys.
Yes, it would.
That would be a blast.
Thank you, Teresa.
Bye, Teresa.
All right, love you guys. Good to talk to you again. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Wow. And wow.
Thanks for trying, Dave. That was really good of you.
I'll take it on.
Maybe next week.